All right, there's President Biden in Ponce, Puerto Rico, hard hit by Hurricane Fiona just a few weeks ago, still recovering from disaster of Hurricane Maria several years ago. And the president there coming to Puerto Rico and making a statement that the president of the United States is president of the people of Puerto Rico as well. Donald Trump famously did not share that sentiment as much. There was a story that he wanted to trade Puerto Rico for Greenland with Denmark at one point. Whatever. What President Biden did there was promise help. Promise funding and the help of the federal government to help the Americans on Puerto Rico and rebuild and protect that island from future disasters. You know, well, part of the problem is that the infrastructure of that island has been worn down and not kept up, partly by ineffective local government. President Biden says this time we're going to get the job done. Time will tell.
And don't forget, Luma, you know, the private company that currently manages the power grid, right, has been under a lot of criticism. Let's bring in Kenneth Moten, who's also been following the president's remarks and just talking about, okay, it's good that the president is there, Kenneth, and he's talking about what he's going to do to help rebuild Puerto Rico. But there's still a lot of issues with Luma, with the power grid, and problems that the Puerto Ricans keep having even since Maria 5 years ago. And then you've got Fiona that comes in there, causes more devastation. So it's not just an easy thing to throw money at the problem. There are people that are having issues with power.
They are, and they've been voicing that criticism and those opinions. You heard the president say you deserve and really need every bit of help your country can give you, because it's a powerful image for the president, a powerful statement for the president to land there on the island, on this U.S. territory, to say to those Americans that we will be here for you, that your federal government will be here for you. And so that's why you heard President Biden pledge that $60 million from the bipartisan infrastructure law to shore up levees, to create a new flood warning system as well, to help rebuild Puerto Rico, to make it stronger, because as Terry mentioned, the infrastructure is just horrible there on the island, and they have been devastated by some storms that have rolled through there, especially Maria 5 years ago. But then you had a Category 1, and there were lawmakers here in D.C. who thought that the infrastructure there should have been able to hold in this Category 1 storm, about 80-mile-per-hour winds. But you had a island-wide blackout that happened as soon as Fiona started to roll through. And you saw the president there, who was on the southwest portion of the island, which is the worst hit, devastated by Fiona and still reeling and dealing with the aftermath of Fiona. But you got Luma, that utility, coming out, putting out the numbers saying 92% of customers have power, that they have restored power to 92% of the customers there. But we know there's still a lot of people who are still without power and still without necessities there. The president, who was on the ground, instead of the administration knowing the images that were there 5 years ago with the predecessor, with the throwing of the paper towels, well, this time we've seen images, and we will see more images of the president and the first lady doing a community service project of packing food and essential items to give out to those Puerto Ricans.
How's Luma been responding to all the criticism since the storm, Kenneth?
Yeah, good question, Kira. They've been steady with putting out the numbers, saying how much power they restored. The utility says it continues to prioritize the people in the hardest hit region where the president was today, but you still have to. But there's still those members of Congress who are demanding answers. The Committee on Energy and Commerce saying its concern about Luma predates the blackout caused by Fiona. Puerto Ricans have complained of recurring power surges, Kira and Terry, which have impacted medical care, schools, property, and people are also just paying a lot for their electricity. So that committee is requesting information to find out how Luma is allocating its contracted money and why the electrical grid wasn't prepared to withstand the Category 1 hurricane as well.
All right, Kenneth Moten, thank you so much.
A lot of work ahead there.
Yes, indeed.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.